In this QDS training video, you'll learn how to add a Pick One response type question. For questions where respondents will choose a single response, you'll use a data element with a Pick One type. As of QDS 5.0, you have the option to display these choices as buttons on the screen or as a drop-down list. If your question has more than 24 choices, you must use the drop-down list format. In this video, we'll add questions using each of these options. You'll start out by selecting the data option from the element toolbar, and that's going to open up the data element tab, and you'll first be entering your text of question. For this Pick One item, we're going to have a question: what is your current employment status? And after that's entered, we're going to go ahead and use the word employment for our variable name and our variable label. Note that as of QDS 5.0, we can have variable names that are up to 32 characters long. After we've done that, we're going to go to the response type box here on the right and click on that arrow to open up the drop down, and we're going to pick the selection nominal Pick One. After you do that, you're going to go to the last tab that you'll see, which is the response set tab, and this is where you're going to head and enter your choices. You're going to go ahead and double click or just select and then open that first choice, and this opens the code item box. You're going to notice that you'll see a 0 listed here in this code value box. That's the default when you start adding choices. You could change that if you'd like, but we're just going to leave that at the default. So in the description box, you're going to enter the text for the choice that will appear on the button on your CAPI or ACASI screen. And here our first choice is going to be full-time or 40 hours per week. And then once we have that entered, we'll go down and select add again to enter our second choice. And here we're going to go ahead and enter our next choice, and then we're going to keep adding. Once you've added all your choices, you'll see them here listed in the description of category box, and you can see what the codes will be when the data is saved in that item column. Now, the next thing you want to check is, once again, check your special codes: don't know, refused, and not applicable. If they are not to be allowable, then you want to go ahead and uncheck those. The other two option boxes to note are the display in reverse order and the use drop-down list option. If you would like the options to display in reverse order on the screen, you would check this top box. If you would like to use a drop-down list for your choices, then you can check that second box. Now, for this question, we want to use the default response buttons on the screen in order, so we're going to leave these options unchecked. After you've done all this, go ahead and click OK, and now you're going to see your new item in the element listing. Next, we're going to add a question where we would like the responses in a drop-down list. So once again, we'll go ahead and start out by adding a data element. The text of question this time is, in what state were you born? And we'll use state for our variable name and our variable label. Once again, we'll go to that response type tab, and then once again we're going to go ahead and select nominal Pick One, and then go again to the response set tab. Now here we're going to go ahead and start adding a few options. Remember, we'll just go through and add the first few. Now, one thing that you will notice is that since we do have fewer than 25 choices, by default this use drop-down list is unchecked. But now we're going to want to use that option once we've entered all of our choices. Now that we've added additional choices and we have over 24, you'll notice that the Use drop-down list option is grayed out and it is automatically checked, because as long as you have more than 24 choices, you're going to need to use that drop-down list format. After you're done with selecting all of your options, you're going to go ahead and click OK, and once again you're going to see that new Pick One question in the element listing. Now, to show you how these two options will look in CAPI, we're going to use the preview feature by highlighting them. So we're going to highlight those two items, and then we're going to go to the menu item Tools and then Run Preview. Note that the preview feature was added in QDS version 4, and we do have a video that talks all about how to use the preview feature. Once Preview opens, you can see the first question that we highlighted, and that was the one with these Pick One response buttons. So we're going to go ahead and select a choice. And then after we do that, we go to the next question. And this is the one, in what state were you born, where we can see we automatically have that drop-down list. And you can scroll through all of the choices, and you can go ahead and select one. If you want to make a different selection, you can just click that button and make a different selection. That's all for this video, but to learn how to add additional types of responses, see QDS Online Help or other Design Studio videos.